Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to the temple. It's wonderful to have you here in person and on YouTube. We invite everyone to begin the service as we sing together, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, how beautiful the day is. It is Shabbat. Turn now to page 172 in our prayer books to sing together Ma Tovu. As we turn to page 195 for the Berlow. אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל, המאיר לארץ ולדרים עליה ברחמים, ובטובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה וראשית. מה רבו מעשיך אדוני, כולם בחוכמה עשית, מלאה הארץ קנייניך. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארו חסלה. אור חדש על ציון תאיר ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning, My Torah, my special human gift is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch Ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. And we turn to page 200 for the calling of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוך בך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise.
We turn to page 204 to sing together Michamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורות תהילות עושה פלא. שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים לשמחו על שפת הים. יחד
for the tefillah on page 205. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי לאה ואלוהי רחל, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך, עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah. And we read together, you are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your doors, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך על הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכינו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו נצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
We turn to page 216 for the blessing for shalom, for peace and wholeness and wellness. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom.
שים, שים, שים שלום, שים שלום טובה וברכה. שים, שים, שים שלום טובה וברכה. כן בחסד ברחמים עלינו ועל כל רשימך. ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד באור פניך. שים, שים, שים שלום, שים שלום טובה וברכה. שים, שים, שים שלום טובה וברכה. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
We all need healing and courage and strength in our lives, in the life of everyone that is dear to us. The Misha Berach, the prayer for strength and courage and healing, is on page 253. Turn now to Seder Kriyat Torah, the order of reading from the Torah on Shabbat on page 244. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adoneinu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagidula, V'hagivura, V'hativirit, V'hanitzach, V'hahod. Ki kol bashamayim uvaretz, Ki kol bashamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacho, V'yamid nasi lichol lirosh.
Shabbat Shalom. We have two Torah portions today as we conclude the book of Leviticus. We're going to read from the first Torah portion. It's called Behar, which means in the mountain. It happens on Mount Sinai. It's a beautiful, beautiful Torah portion. And even though there is a verse from it that is sounds very familiar because it's on the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, showing the common grounds between ideas coming from the Hebrew Bible and the Torah and the founders of our beloved country. The verse is, "Ukra'atem dor ba'aretz," and you should proclaim liberty throughout the land. I think there's even a stamp that says that, but I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely on the Liberty Bell. Even though we have this, so it seems like a very American chapter, it's actually something that should be very challenging to the American way of life and offering us at least two ideas for the way we should live our lives, both as individual persons and as a society that we are still challenged by, because it's not actually the American way of life. It was always an enigma to me. Why is a verse from this Torah portion on the Liberty Bell? But we'll go to the reading, and first we'll say the blessing for reading from the Torah on page 250. Please join Jennifer as she leads us.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
וידבר אדוני אל משה בהר סיני לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, כי תבואו אל הארץ אשר אני נותן לכם, ושבתה הארץ, שבת לאדוני. 6 שנים תזרע שדיך, ו6 שנים תזמור כרמך, ואספת את תבואתה, ובשנה השביעית שבת שבתון יהיה לארץ, שבת לאדוני. שדך לא תזרע, וכרמך לא תזמור, את ספיח קצירך לא תקצור, ואת ענבי נזירך לא תבצור. שנת שבתון יהיה לארץ. והיה שבת הארץ לכם לאוכלה, לך ולעבדך ולאמתך ולשכירך ולתושבך, הגרים עמך ולבהמתך, ולחיה אשר בארצך תהיה כל תבואתה לאכול. Adonai spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, when you enter the land that I give you, the land shall observe a Shabbat to Adonai. 6 years you will sow your field, and 6 years you may prune your vineyard and gather in the yield. But in the 7th year, the land shall have a Shabbat of complete rest, a Shabbat for Adonai. You shall not sow your field or prune your vineyard. You shall not reap the aftergrowth of your harvest, or gather the grapes of your untrimmed vines. It shall be a year of complete rest for the land. But you may eat whatever the land during this Shabbat will produce, you, your male and female slaves, the hired and bound laborers who live with you, and your cattle and the beasts in your land may eat all its yield. We have here a circle around the word Shabbat. Hopefully when we read the Hebrew and also in the English translation, you heard the word Shabbat many times. So every 6 days we have a Shabbat, a Sabbath. The Hebrew word Shabbat means to strike, to totally rest, to let go of the daily race of labor and achieving things and collecting things. And then every 6 years, the land has a Shabbat, and we again stop working and producing things from the land And the Hebrew actually later on in the Torah uses another word for the sabbatical year, and that is Shemitah, which means to let go. You just let go. This is a year that is not about you. In the laws of Shabbat, which are not in our Torah portion, it says 6 days you should labor and do your thing, and the 7th day is a Shabbat for Adonai. So 6 days, it's all about us. The 7th day, it's all about God. We let go, we rest. 6 years, it's all about us. It's our careers, it's our jobs, it's everything that we need to do. The 7th year, we let go and we rest. And then the chapter will go on in the part that is quoted on the Liberty Bell, and every 7 times 7, every 49 years, on the 50th year, it's a jubilee. So there's actually 2 years that you don't work the land, you let go, but also you give back the property to its original owners. So 2 things are said here, one on an individual level and one as a community, and as a society. On an individual level, God is telling us something that I think many people also heard during this past year, because we were kind of locked home and forced to let go of our plans because of a global pandemic, is that from time to time you need to stop the race, the daily and yearly race that we are part of. From time to time, every 7 days and on the 7th year, you need to let go and to maybe rest for a while. See where your life is heading, all kinds of things, but stop that race. It's not all about having more and more things, gathering more and more wealth. But there's another message here also. There's a social message. Every 6 years on the 7th year, you let go of loans that you lended to fellow human beings. Every 6 years, if you have servants, you let go of them. Every 50 years on the Jubilee year, property that you obtained on the expense of other people, in that case it was land, goes back to its original owner. There's a different view about ownership here. Actually, right next to the quote on the Liberty Bell, it says something really un-American, that we don't own anything. The land actually belongs to Adonai, and we are just strangers and sojourners on the land. Adonai lets us live on it, but as a proof that it belongs to Adonai, we need to let go of our ownership on the Jubilee year. I don't think, and we have here, I'm very careful on saying that because we have here a world biblical scholar, so I'm afraid of saying foolish things, but I don't think that these laws were ever kept. Shabbat, yes, but the sabbatical or the Jubilee, I think it's asking too much. But it's not important whether they were kept or not. They're there to challenge us, to say to us, just like we were forced during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is not over, unfortunately, but we're beginning to see the light, and maybe we're stopping thinking about those things, that sometimes it's not so bad to let go of that race. It's not so bad to be forced to take a break. A pandemic, I'm not recommending a pandemic, don't get me wrong, but it's a challenging idea that it's not all about owning more things, it's not all about us. From time to time, we need to stop. The Hebrew says, lishbot, to totally strike, to totally stop, and to let go on what seems to be important, and to think about other things. Shabbat Shalom, and we're going to go to one thing before we say the blessing after. We ended a book, so we should say together, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek, may we go from strength to strength. Please join me as we say together, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazak. May we go from strength to strength. And now let's join Jennifer as we say the blessing after reading.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. על פי אדוני ביד משה, ביד משה. על פי אדוני ביד משה, ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל.
We rise as we turn to page 283 for the Aleinu. We read together in the middle of page 283. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. We read together on page 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity, cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially John A. DeAngelo, Shirley Tanchester-Rees, Bob Green, Bert Bliden, Philip Feitelson, Bert Brooks, Isabel Hellman, Ruth Smiley, Betty Gordon, Simon Blumenson, Sidney Weinstein, Wolford Trow, Lee Eppinger, Walter Lone, Louis Koppel, David Frankel, Rabbi Joseph Gallinger, John Abramson, Nathan Lerman, Samuel Rapport, Leon Seidman, Florence Ross, Bessie Goldberg, Fanny R. Fink, Molly Hornstein, Marlene Nathanson, Selma Comer, Wesley Adams, Herman Shapiro, Gilbert Rosenstein, Victor Malkin, Arthur Mann, Morris Aaron Weinberg, Robert Loeb, and in recent days, Bernice Rosenberg-Litch, Jennifer Chaplin. We think of our loved ones, whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memories from our loved ones in our heart, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה, may the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Our closing song is עושה שלום.
עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אמותינו, שתוליכנו לשלום. May it be your will, Adonai our God and God of our ancestors, that you guide us on the path of shalom, of wholeness and wellness and peace, and that you protect us from all harm and evil on our way. Bless the work of our hands and grant us grace, loving kindness and compassion in your eyes, in the eyes of everyone who sees us. Adonai Shalom, bless us with a Shabbat of Shalom. Shalom to our minds, to our souls, to our bodies. Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.